What's going on, guys? LegitMHx here, back with another Marvel Spider-Man PS4 video. And in today's video I'm going to be starting my new sort of mini-series that will basically cover the 4 main core elements of Spider-Man PS4 that we know of as of now, based on the gameplay and the trailers and everything we've gotten in the past. Basically, I'm going to be starting off with the most important. I did the poll on Twitter and I asked you guys in the comments down below of what your favorite part of the game was, and web swinging by far destroyed everything. So web swinging will be the first video, followed up by the actual graphics, followed up by the combat, then finally ending with the actual map and the open world. But I'll be starting on web swinging today, and I'm basically going to be covering everything within web swinging, everything we know so far, as well as everyone's fear of web swinging seeming to be a bit slow. Everyone's I don't know if it's a minority or a majority, but a lot of people have been complaining that the web swinging is sort of slow, and I could maybe agree to a certain extent, but I will be dealing with that, and I'll be telling you guys why it is not slow, and if it is slow, why it won't be slow when it does actually release. But anyways, if you guys are not subscribed to me as of yet, if you guys do enjoy, then do please subscribe, and if you guys do enjoy the video, then do leave a like. But with that out of the way, let's just get straight into the video. So basically, web swinging within Spider-Man PS4, it's pretty amazing. I mean, if you look at it, I think it's safe to say that it's better than majority of Spider-Man games. I'm gonna put maybe some gameplay of actual other games in comparison with, I'll put like maybe a side-by-side sort of thing, but Spider-Man PS4, Marvel Spider-Man PS4, the web swinging does seem a lot better than a lot of other games, and it really is. The main core elements that we did see of the actual web swinging within the gameplay, this isn't probably all the elements, but this is what we did see. We saw the actual web swinging, the actual just normal swinging of the webs actually attaching to the buildings. We know that, so like if you're the web swinging straight and you attach your web to a building on the right, you'll eventually curve around the right building, right? Yeah, so you have webs attached to buildings, normal web swinging like that. We have web zipping, that is what Insomniac is calling it. Basically, you can sort of aim your sort of cursor that you have at anywhere and sort of zip towards it. We saw it sort of in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it does look a lot better and a lot more fun to use in Spider-Man PS4. So web zipping is also another element. And furthermore, we also have the web swinging around the actual building. So if you guys do see within the gameplay, if you're going around a corner, around a building, I talked about this a while ago in one of my speculation videos, but you can actually swing around the building and, yeah, pretty much take a perfect right turn or a left turn or 90-degree turn. Probably could be even more, but you can perfectly swing around the building and still maintain a lot of your momentum. And the final thing is, it's not really web swinging, but you can wall run, so you can swing and go onto a wall and start running on the wall and continue your web swinging. But yeah, those are the 4 or 5 or 4 main parts to the actual web swinging. But now to cover something that everyone's been talking about. This is the main thing, this is the main problem everyone's been having with Spider-Man PS4, and this is what I'm going to address today. Is the web swinging actually slow? Is it really slow? Could it be improved? Could it be made faster? Is it gonna fail? Is it gonna be bad? Everyone's got all these issues, and I'm gonna be covering it. So basically, I'm gonna start off by saying it does seem a little slow in the actual demo, but I don't think it is slow overall. Basically, I reckon the demoer, the person that's actually playing the demo, you can see that a lot of the things he is doing isn't really skillful, I could say. But like, basically at the beginning, you see when he did actually do the first web swing, he sort of attached it to the edge of a building, so Spidey wasn't able to get too far because the direction that he attached the actual web to was the opposite direction that he was trying to go, and that's why you see that he actually web zipped, and that is one main reason. That's why everyone's like, oh, it's so slow, why is it so slow? That's because he attached it to the building that was behind him and is trying to go forward. So that's one of the reasons it might look slow, and trust me, I mean, in physics, that does not work. So pretty much that part, the demoer could have, I mean, I don't think he could have actually done anything in particular, but you could see that it's not really slow, it's just how the physics works, how, if you attach a web to one side, you're not gonna go the other side, obviously. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's another thing. The demo also, one of the main things is that he kept on stopping, and if you guys do realize, it is momentum based, and I'll cover that a bit later on, but he kept on stopping, which kind of stopped the momentum, and you didn't really get really far, because the first web swinging will always be the slowest one. That's always going to happen, because that's when you start building your momentum. It doesn't make sense for the first one to be the fastest and the rest to be slow, and it doesn't make sense for all of them to be the same speed. Obviously, as you go, you build up your momentum, you get faster. So that's another thing. And again, Insomniac have confirmed that the web swinging is fully physics and momentum based. They have said it on their Twitter, and they've said it in interviews as well. So it is going to follow physics, and it is going to follow the actual momentum, and that's the main thing. I believe that within the actual gameplay, you actually don't see too much of web swinging. You see him stop a lot, and you see the actual demo hit the wall, start wall running, and that really does slow down the momentum a little. But you can see that as he's web swinging, it is getting faster, and if you had a bit more skill, you could probably go really, really fast. And Insomniac does touch on that a bit later on. But basically, the momentum, as you start, your first web swing will always be the slowest, but as you keep going, as you get that momentum, as you build it up, you can probably go insanely fast. As you use web zip, I'm not gonna be able to say that, but as you use all the main parts of the actual web swinging, build it up, you're gonna build up your momentum, you're gonna actually go really, really fast. So that's another thing that could actually influence your actual speed in the web swing, and it definitely is. I mean, if you say you web swing just web swinged for 30 seconds straight, you're gonna go really fast by the time you've reached your 30-second time. So yeah, it's gonna be the momentum base. You're gonna build up your momentum. You're gonna go faster and faster. That's why, because it's physics based. Insomniac have confirmed that, so you have nothing to worry about in that regard. Moving on, Insomniac have explicitly stated that it is based on skills. If you are more skillful, you will definitely go much more faster. And this is sort of given, but a lot of people, in a lot of other Spider-Man games, you didn't really need too much skill to go too fast, and that's why people are probably complaining, because when you just saw the web swinging, it's universal. Everyone can probably swing at that same rate to a certain degree. But I do believe that there is going to be quite a big sort of range of skill needed within the actual game to be able to swing really fast. So there's going to be a lot of very skilled people that are going to be able to swing really, really fast, and then there's going to be those noobs that can't really play, and they're going to end up hitting every wall, and they're not going to really get that far. So there's going to be a huge gap, skill gap. I think that's the actual term called skill gap between the actual swinging. So you need to be a lot more skilled to go faster, and that is good, because then you can practice swinging. It's going to be fun to actually master it, get faster and faster, which would be amazing, because that's also amazing. But yeah, Insomniac have explicitly stated this. They've said it always on their Twitter, as in they've repeatedly said this on their Twitter. They've said you can swing faster than we showed if you are good at it. Players with skill can definitely move faster. They've said this a bunch of times, but basically, if you have skill, you can go much faster when you're web swinging. The next thing that I'm going to be covering is that there might actually be possible hints towards upgrades. Now, Insomniac did sort of tweet about possible upgrades or something. I don't remember exactly what they said. I couldn't find the tweet, but they talked about something in terms of upgrades. But the main thing that does lead me to believe that there will actually be upgrades within this game is that if you look at all of Insomniac's previous games, you've got Ratchet & Clank, you've got Sunset Overdrive, majority of Ratchet & Clank, they have more than 10 Ratchet & Clank games, and all those games have been focused on upgrading your weapons, upgrading things you have, your skills. There's upgrade trees and all this stuff, and it would be a bit it would be weird to have no upgrades in this game. Basically, Spider-Man PS4, Marvel Spider-Man is their biggest game they've ever made, Insomniac's biggest game, and one of their main sort of features that make Insomniac so good is their upgrades and having weapons and upgrading them and making them amazing. And it would seem a little illogical to have Spider-Man game without any upgrades. So if there is going to be upgrades within Spider-Man, you can be sure that there will be upgrades for the web swinging, because that is the actual, like, one of the main core elements to to an actual Spider-Man game. So there's most definitely, I feel like it's 90% confirmed that there's actually going to be upgrades to your web swinging, so you can go a lot faster. And if you do look at the actual gameplay, and sort of judge where it is within the game, you can really tell that it's really early on in the story, and that it really isn't sort of near the end or in the middle. Obviously they would show something in the beginning, that just makes sense. So that really also shows that the Spider-Man probably doesn't have many upgrades on his web swinging, so that's probably why another reason as to why it may seem slow. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. And the final thing that I do want to cover on the web swinging and why it might seem slow is that, why it won't be slow is that because this is Insomniac's primary focus when they are making the Spider-Man game. They're making sure that the web swinging is perfect. Brian Intaz said it, Bill Roseman said as well, they want to nail this and the traversal. The swinging and the traversal, they've said it over and over again. They are really focused on it. They said they'll make improvements, and the fact that there's a 2018 release means that there's a year of development that they have until the game is released. And they have also said that they're still in the thick of development. They're not in the polishing stage yet. They're still in like in the core development stage, and who knows when they're going to be in a polishing stage, but they are still improving the actual swinging, and once they are in the polishing stage, then they can further improve it even more. So still 1 year left, and again, we are here, the Spider-Man PS4 fans are here, we are giving them the feedback on the web swinging. If it does seem a little slow, the community's, the reaction of it being a bit slow, they'll look into it. They'll make sure that it isn't slow, that it is how everyone wants it, and they'll make sure that it is what everyone actually wants. So the feedback is also another factor that will also influence the web swinging, and when the game does release in 2018, you can be sure that the web swinging will be a lot more faster than it was here. But in my own opinion, I do believe that the web swinging was perfect in the game. It's not going to be crazy fast. Like a lot of the Spider-Man games in the past, you went really crazy fast, and that's not good, because if you go really fast, then the map becomes really small, because you can get from one side to the other a lot faster. So again, I think it is better to have it slower than faster, because then again it follows the physics, it follows the momentum, it follows you actually feel like you're Spider-Man, you're not just like pressing R2 or just pressing one button over and over again, or just holding one and you're just going forward. It gives like sort of more realistic feel to it. It gives a more solid, grounded feel, and it will be a lot more fun to actually experience. So that's pretty much all the factors that I do have to explain as to why it's not slow and as to why it won't be slow at all, and it'll be how everyone wants it when the game does release. So you guys have nothing to worry about. For those guys that are actually complaining about the web swinging and are afraid that it's going to be bad, you have nothing to worry about. I can assure you that it will be either fixed or it is already fixed, and it seems like it isn't from the actual gameplay. But I bet you the web swinging will be perfect. It'll beat every single game in the past. It'll be revolutionary web swinging. Nothing will probably ever beat it ever again, unless they make a sequel or something like that. But this will most definitely have the perfect web swinging within it. Now, also, I can't even speak today, but I do also want to touch on a sort of some of the improvements that some feedback that we could give to Insomniac Games. A fellow subscriber, I believe, by the name of Keep It Zen, did comment about his sort of interpretation of the web swing and what he thinks of it, and he gave sort of his own suggestions as to what could be improved. So I'll read that out. A shout out to him, because he made this amazing analysis, and I'll put the comment on the screen, but I'll go through the suggestions that he did make. He said to speed up the swinging a little, and yes, maybe you could, I'm not too sure, but I guess if the web swinging is as it seems from the gameplay demo, I guess you could speed it up a bit. But again, I mean, yeah, okay, fine. You could speed up this web swinging a little bit. Make Spider-Man speed up as he reaches the bottom of his swing like real life. So yeah, as you're going down, the force of gravity, the momentum that's building up, when you come back up, you should get that boost sort of. And yeah, that's something that could be put in if it isn't already put in. At some points after a swing, his momentum doesn't seem to carry him very far. Not too sure about that, but maybe they could improve that. Even for the speed he's swinging at, almost like something's holding him back, address that. Okay, that's perfect. Yes, Insomniac, if they could address that, that'd be perfect. Make sure that it is perfect. I'm not saying, and I'm pretty sure he's not saying that it is imperfect, but make sure that it is what it should be. And then he says, and add swing boost and after swing jumps to help gain speed, momentum, height. Yep, 100% agree, and I feel like it's already somewhat in there. Maybe they could do a bit more. He said mid-air tricks would be cool, but not necessary. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have mid-air tricks, and I think there probably is some mid-air tricks. I mean, you don't want repetitive, just like one motion, one animation swinging. So yeah, having mid-air tricks, having that sort of different type of swinging as he's moving along would be perfect. And then he said some things could already be in the game. Yep, most of this could already be in the game, who knows, but some of the devs may already be planning to add some of these. Yep, and yeah, so pretty much yeah, these are the suggestions that Keep It Zen does have for Spider-Man PS4 in terms of web swinging. He said, like Spider-Man 2, keep the physics and the webs that attached to the buildings, but bend reality a bit for more fun and freedom. And I sort of agreed with that to a certain extent. You don't want to keep it too realistic, because again, at the end of the day, Spider-Man isn't a realistic character. You can't physically do something like Spider-Man. So to have a bit of bending of reality would be fun, and have a bit more freedom, and it'd be a bit more fun. But again, I do want it to be physics based, and I hope they will keep that for sure. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's Keep It Zen's suggestions. And yeah, so this is pretty much the video, guys. Web swinging for Spider-Man PS4, for Marvel Spider-Man. Everything we know so far, as well as why it isn't slow and why it definitely won't be slow when it does release. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Watch out for my next video. It's probably gonna be the next upload I do, which is gonna be covering the graphics, and particularly people's complaint with the graphics being a downgrade from last year. Again, another complaint, another major complaint. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. I do want to give a shout out to a fellow Spidey Squad member. I shouted him out last video, but it's necessary that I shout him out in this video, because he has also made a web swinging video in particular. It's a bit different. He talks about it in relation to the old games. His name is Evan Falaka. Most of you guys probably have heard of him, but he's done an amazing web swinging video where he talks about why Spider-Man PS4's web swing will be much better than every other game that's existed, and I agree with him. So go check out his video, it's amazing. And yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have not subscribed already, please do. If you guys want to subscribe, then subscribe. I don't really care. If you enjoy my content, then the subscribe would be nice. And if you like this video in particular, then do leave a like. And I hope you guys did enjoy and are excited for Spider-Man and the web swing within Spider-Man. And yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy. And this was once again LegitMHx signing out.